Hey guys, I hadn't posted anything in a long time, and I felt like sharing today's haul of boom boxes and kind of giving you a little bit of explanation on what I do to get them going. Hey guys, just wanted to share. This is actually a group of boom boxes I got today, all from one guy. And the way I get these is I find somebody that goes to estate sales and they basically buy them over the course of a couple months, or I think the last time I picked some up from him was about 4 or 5 months ago. So it's been a little bit. I usually catch up with them about once a quarter, and I buy all the boom boxes that he picks up for me. So I don't know what he pays necessarily. I would guess he pays, as little as possible, maybe a couple bucks, maybe a little more for some of them. But I paid $150 for all these from him. So, all right, so I actually pulled out about half of them. These are probably the ones that are at least more likely candidates for me selling a couple of them and making all my money back. If you are new to, buying vintage electronics or like vintage boom boxes like this, there's a couple things to consider before you go plug something in. And so I kind of want to go over a few of those things with you. A lot of them have the need for a DC type jack. Actually, that one has both. So you can see it has an AC input here and then a DC input. And so with the DC input, you really have to be careful, because what you need to do is make sure that you match the voltage and the polarity. And so on this one, you can see it says 9 volts, and then it has a circle, kind of a half circle. And if you can't see, it's a plus on the left side and a negative on the right side. And that negative, the line goes to the center. And so don't consider a plug that fits to be appropriate. You want to match the voltage and the polarity. And it's not necessary that you find one that has the brand name, like this has Sanyo on it. It doesn't mean that you have to find a realistic power supply. You just need to find a 9-volt power supply, 9-volt DC with a center pin negative. And so if you have one that's center pin positive, you can theoretically cut and rewire your power supply at the plug to match the boom box, but just make sure you know what you're doing if you're doing something like that. Now this one has a battery select switch or an AC, so you can make sure and tell it which power source you're going to use. And this boom box has a AC plug built into it. And one of the things you want to always look at is what condition the plug and the wire is in. If you're going to be plugging something in that you didn't own and you are unfamiliar with its background, don't assume that the person took care of it, or that rodents didn't chew through it, or especially on older stuff than this, a lot of times the cords will be brittle and you'll see exposed wiring, and so you never want to plug something like that in. It's just really important. This is the first step, is probably the most important thing, is to make sure that you're not going to hurt yourself by plugging something in that is damaged and that's going to shock you, that's going to ruin your electronics, and that's making sure that whatever you're plugging in for a power supply matches what your electronics need. All right, now that I know I can safely plug something in, the next step for me is usually to, if I clean them, which I a lot of times do early on with the nicer ones, but just to see if something's going to work, it's important to make sure that you set it to something that's not going to be super loud. A lot of times these things, for whatever reason, you'll pick them up and they'll be full volume. So I'm on the radio, I'm on FM on this one, and so I'm going to plug it in and just see if it has power. All right, I plugged it in. It has power because I can hear it hum a little bit. And now I'm going to kind of slowly turn up the volume.
It's already happening.
But a lot of that work falls on... And officials say don't.
All right, it's not uncommon for the radio to be maybe the one thing that works on a lot of these because it doesn't have the same kind of moving parts as the tape mechanism. Now I'm hitting play, it's actually spinning. That's something that maybe it's a little surprising if I hit. So we may have one that's actually fully functional, the first one I test. Now I have a tape here that I got out of a cassette answering machine because I didn't want to ruin another tape.
Anyways, can we have a rain check on going out? Getting together? Let me know. 729-6406.
I bet she didn't expect that message to be in a YouTube video. I would almost guarantee it. So let's try another one. All right, so let's try this other Sony and see what happens. Now I'm got the volume down, I'm gonna turn the radio on. So there's that scratchiness that I mentioned, and that just means that to really have this thing working better, I'm gonna have to open this case up, take the screws out of the back, pull this off, and then adjust our spray inside the inner knob potentiometer with some cleaner and basically make sure that that is clean, and that'll go away. So this radio's working. Okay, so let's play a music tape. That sounds good. Now the counter's going really slow, but I think we are just gonna have to live with that because that is probably, that belt is stretched out. So this is amazing for me because this is 2 for 2 that are actually working. Now, I wanna go back. Okay, so this one we know we have to clean the potentiometers. And if we wanna fully test, we can actually try and record to a tape. So let's try that. I'm actually going to use the tape that's in there, and let's just see if it has something on it. Disney sounding music. I get along. Or Old Blue Eyes.
This is Public Radio News. I'm Laura Lord. Regional headline.
I hit record and play.
I guess I am. You might be the man, well that's unless I am. Okay.
Researchers found that unconscious.
We have now tried to record something onto the tape. Let's go back to the beginning. Yep. And hit play.
Regional headline. Research from the University of Kansas finds that women are.
I guess I am. You might be the man, well that's unless I am. Okay.
So that actually worked. So, all right, well, I'm going to sign off and say thanks for checking out some of the tips I've shared today, and I'm going to leave you with my favorite find of the day, which was this portable. It's plugged in because I don't have batteries on hand here, but this portable little 8-track only player. So let's plug it in. And we were just send you off. Looks like I need a strap, but and some cleaning on this, but this thing is awesome. So thanks for checking it out. I'll be back with more soon. Buzz, buzz, buzz.